Hello and welcome to practice. This is the first pre-recorded class of our summer challenge, our strength challenge. It's going to be a yoga class breaking down the foundations of our practice, building strength from the bottom up. So it's going to be nice and simple. There'll be moments where you can work, but we are really just refining the basics and getting our head around lines, angles, and understanding where we're hoping to engage, where we want to feel release, and all of the stuff in between those two. So cross your legs and sit nice and tall, drop the shoulders, close the eyes. Let's take a few moments to just come into the practice that you want to let yourself just step away from any distractions of your day. Anything that's going on, anything that's running through your mind, anything that isn't helping your practice, anything that isn't needed right now. You can pick it up after practice, you can pick it up after class. But for the rest of the class, for the practice, I want you to try your best to just focus simply on the breath, your movements, and how we bring those two together. So I want you to bring your hands to the outside of your ribs, so you can see they're just below my chest, to the side of the rib cage. Take a big breath in, and you want to feel the rib cage expand. And then as you breathe out, the ribs fall back down and in. Big breath, rib cage expands. Exhale back down and in. Now if I lift my hands away and exaggerate, I want you to feel this outward movement as you breathe in and this downward movement as you breathe out. So this inward movement, exhale, inhale, exhale. And that's also assisting movement of the diaphragm. So as you breathe in, the diaphragm pulls down. And then as you breathe out, diaphragm retracts back up. So we breathe in, the diaphragm pulls down, increases the volume in the lungs. And then as we exhale, the diaphragm pushes up, forcing the breath out. So go for two more. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. And breath out. And then just rest the hands to the knees. Keep the breath nice and long throughout the practice, but it doesn't want to be so long that you find you're ever having to hold your inhale and force your exhale. So however long you can comfortably keep the breath. Take your left fingertips out to the side, reach your right arm up, and then I want you to lift that right arm up, so grow 2 or 3 inches taller, and then you take that side bend over to the left. So as you reach over, you're trying to push that right seat bone down. You want to keep the chest lifted. Try to avoid letting the spine round forwards. Instead, think real length through that right side body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift all the way up, both arms to the sky. In particular, lift through that left side. And then exhale, take your right hand down and we side bend over to the right. So that feels like a strong stretch into the left side of the body. So as you're reaching over to the right, you're pushing that left seat bone down. And we're here for 3. Really feel that stretch. 2. And 1. Lift both arms up to the sky, reach both arms to the ceiling. And then exhale, let them fall down behind the back. Interlace your fingers. Draw the shoulders back and down, open the chest. Now here, if the neck feels okay, you can look up. If that's too much, just gaze forwards. Feel that stretch across the collarbones, across the chest, and squeeze the shoulders back and down as you open across the chest. So we're active in the back of the body to enable that stretch through the front of the body. And then we want to carefully, slowly release. Just come over to all fours for our cat-cow. So your hands and knees are evenly distributed from the left to the right. The hands are beneath the shoulders and the knees are beneath the hips. Pull the waist in, so there's this slight engagement already through the abdominals around the lower back. There's some support. We keep that support. Open the chest, look forwards. Feel the shoulders pull down. Feel that stretch through the abdominals. And then as you exhale, reverse that, chin into chest, round the back. Inhale, open the chest forward. So we're compressing and strengthening the back of the body, opening and lengthening the front. Exhale, the reverse. We pull in, arch and round through the back. Contract and strengthen the front. 3 more. Inhale forwards. Nice big breath. Pull the shoulders back. Think about space across the collarbones. Exhale, arch and round. Inhale forwards. The movements get bigger each time as you feel more warm, more comfortable. Exhale, round. Take a final breath here. Inhale, open the chest forwards, look forwards, gaze forwards. Exhale, pull the waist in, arch and round. Now tuck the toes, lift back into your first downward facing dog. So we're trying to create an upside down V shape, trying to lift the hips towards the sky and trying to lengthen not only through the backs of the legs, but down through the spine and through the shoulders. Make sure that all 10 fingertips, all 10 knuckles, and the palms of the hands are pushing down into the floor. We're not just resting in the heels of the hands, but the weight is nice and even through all of the hand. Pull the belly in. Imagine you've got a corset on around the center of the body, and I'm going to tighten that corset. You feel the spine supported, you feel the waist pull in. Now with that engagement through the center of the body, roll your body forwards to a plank position and hold that plank nice and strong, nice and long. So from the heels through the hips to the shoulders, out through the crown of the head. Pull in around the waist and lift that back into downward facing dog. Twice more. We'll pull the belly in, roll forwards. Find a nice strong, long plank. Arms engaged, back of the shoulders are active. And then pull the waist back in, lift all the way up. 1 more. Pull the waist in, roll the spine forwards, lengthen through the crown of the head, strong through the back of the shoulders, pull in around the waist, and then take it back. Settle in your downward facing dog. At any time throughout the practice, if it gets too much and you need to rest, you just lower the knees down. 2 vinyasas. We bring the spine forwards to a plank position. First we'll go slow together. We rest the knees. Slowly bend the elbows, lower the body all the way down. So control that descent to the floor. Resting the body, pointing the toes, lifting the chest by squeezing the shoulders back, gazing forwards beyond the top of your yoga mats. And then exhale, let the chest roll back down. Tuck your toes, bend your knees, take it back into downward facing dog. If you have a stronger vinyasa, you can take that, but if not, we're rolling forwards again to a plank, holding that plank, resting the knees, controlling the descent, lowering down, pulling the waist in, finding the floor, pointing the toes, squeezing the shoulders, lifting the chest, gaze forwards. Exhale, let it go. Slide back to your child's pose. So sit your hips all the way back towards your heels and simply rest the forehead. Now when you rest the forehead, if you feel like you're still reaching the arms too much, I want you to bring the hands a hand width back and rest the arms. Rest the forehead. Just rock the hips from side to side. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Take a breath in and take a breath out. 1 more. Exhale You can come to this pose at any time you need to rest. You're pushing into the hands and rising to all fours. From all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips back and up into downward facing dog. We have two different flows in this class. We're going to do the first one will be simple. We'll build on that for the second. So lift your left leg back and up. So this idea of stretching the left leg back and up behind you, reaching out through that left heel. I want you to try and squeeze the left glute and see how that helps you lift the left heel higher. Bring the left knee in and step the left foot forwards. Use your hand to bring it forwards if you need to. Rest the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, open the chest. Try not to be tempted to just drop into the hips. I want you to use the strength of the waist and pull back towards the body. Squeeze your right glute and then send that right hip forwards by pushing from the back. So it's a strong movement forwards, not a drop, but an engaged push forwards and lift. Breathe in, chest rises. And then breathe out, you feel a deeper stretch in that right thigh. Waist pulls in. Arms go out wide, so left arm, right arm reach out. And then you spin the body over to the left. So your right arm comes forwards. And there's no bind, there's no pushing in that twist. It's a true strong twist through the spine. So pull your right fingertips to the front of the room and stretch your left fingertips to the back of the room. Using the arms to pull you into that twist. Feel the twist through the center of the body. Breathe in, lift it back up, reach the arms to the sky. And then breathe out, bring both hands down inside of the left foot. Tuck the back toes and straighten that back leg. Now when you straighten again, don't just drop into the hips, pull the waist in so you feel strength around the center of the body. If you like a bit more space and length through the front of the body, then lift onto the fingertips so you can open the chest more. If you have blocks here, you can place the hands on blocks, which is nice. If you're down on your hands, just try lifting for your fingertips. If it feels too much, then stay down on the hands. We're just here for 3. Try to avoid creasing the neck. Keep the neck nice and long. 2. And on 1, we rest that back knee down. Place your right hand down. Step your left leg all the way to the back of the yoga mat and reach your left arm up to the sky. Side plank, but the right knee is rested. So we're lifting up through those left fingertips. Little more of a challenge. Just lift your left foot off the floor. Hold it there. Squeeze and engage your glutes. Push down into that right hand. If you wobble, just come back in. Breathe. 2. 1. Slowly both hands and both knees down to the floor. Tuck your toes, pull the waist in, lift back and up. Take a nice big breath and let it go. Right side. So reach your right leg back and up behind you. And then you send a message to squeeze that right glute. In doing so, it helps you lift the right foot higher. Feel that strength in the back of the right hip. And then bring the right knee into the chest, all the way, step. Rest your back knee down. Pull the waist in, reach the arms up to the sky. So you can visualize that corset wrapping around, pulling in, and then almost this line of strength pulling back through the right thigh. Squeeze the left glute and move the left hip forwards. We're here for 3. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Last one. And exhale. Both arms out to the side, waist pulls in. Spin and rotate your body to the right, so your right arm back, left arm forwards, and you reach through those left fingertips. That's going to pull you into the twist. You feel that twist come all the way through the body. Hold it for 3. Reach wider in the twist. 2. 1. Lift the arms back up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, take them down to the instep of your right foot. Tuck the back toes, straighten that left leg, make it active, feel the thigh work. Pull the waist in, strong around the center. Push down into your hands, take a big full deep breath. And exhale. If you want to rise to fingertips or blocks, it gives you more space to open the chest without creasing the back of the neck. Lengthen through that left thigh. Hold it high, hold it active, don't drop into the hip. 2. 1, carefully, slowly rest that back knee. Take your right foot to the back of your yoga mat and reach your right arm up. Your side plank on the left knee and the left hand. That's option 1. Option 2, lift your right foot off the floor. And if you wobble, just come back in. Squeeze the glutes. Wide across the chest. Hold it strong. Lift that right foot. And then hand down. Knee down. Take it back. Downward facing dog. We will practice the vinyasa from earlier on. So roll forwards to a plank. Pull the belly in. Rest your knees. Bend the elbows, come forwards. Don't send the elbows out to the side. Send the elbows back. Take it forwards and down. Point the toes. Lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulders. Exhale, lower the chest to the floor. Tuck the toes. Bend the knees. Stretch back into a child's pose. Resting the forehead. Breathe in. And out. All the way in. All the way out. Trying to lengthen the hips back. Trying to stretch the side of the body. Breathing into the belly, into the thighs. Take a big full breath. And let it go. Rising to all fours. Second flow, second sequence. Tuck your toes, pulling the waist in, slide it back into downward facing dog. We start with that left leg again, so lift your left leg high, sending a message to that left glute to engage. So you're not just relying on your flexibility or your mobility, but you're using the strength of that left hip to lift the left leg back. Bring the left knee in and step. High lunge this time, so the back knee stays lifted. Reach the arms up to the sky. Soften the shoulders down the back. Now it's easy to hang back in that heel. I want you to try and come forward so you're more on the ball of the back foot. And you'll feel there's a bit more work through that front thigh. Try and pull that left thigh back towards you. And both hip bones want to be traveling forwards rather than a little bit over to the right. So send the hips forwards, reach the arms up, big breath. Exhale, take the arms out wide. Another twist, reaching the right arm forwards, the left leg, the left arm back. Pull your right fingers forwards, reach your left fingers back. You'll feel that twist get stronger. And bring it back to center, reach the arms up. Open to the right side of the room, warrior 2. So turn your right toes out, bend into your left knee, reach the arms super wide. So pull across the collarbones, stretch out across the arms, bend into that left knee. So find your depth, arms are wide. Breathe in and breathe out. Think about length up through the spine. Big full breath. And exhale. Take your right hand behind your lower back. When we did that seated side bend at the start, we lifted the arm up to the sky. So reach up here, grow taller through that left side body, and then arch back. Keep the bend in your left knee. You're going to feel that left thigh working. 3, 2, 1. Slowly windmill the hands all the way down to the floor. You turn and rest that right knee, and then take your left leg all the way to the back of the mat, place it down. We have a side plank again, facing to the left, but this time, if you want something a bit stronger, lift your right knee off the floor and stretch the right leg out as well. So both legs along. Whichever variation you take and push into that right hand, lift the right side waist. 2, 1, bring the left hand down, meet in downward facing dog. That upside down V shape that should be becoming more familiar now doesn't mean it's easy. It's still going to feel strong and challenging through the upper body. Lengthen the back of the neck. Remember that idea of pushing into all 4 corners of the hand, the palm, the knuckles, the fingers, the thumb. Reach your right leg high, lifting with that right glute. So squeeze the back of the right hip. Don't just think about throwing the leg back. Can you engage that right glute? Bring the right knee into the chest and step. High lunge, rise up. And then exhale, bend into that front knee. Now it's going to be hard if you set yourself up on a tightrope. So give yourself some width between the feet. And then you're on the ball of that back foot, so you can come lower and further forwards into that right thigh. Feel it and bring that right thigh back. Both hips face forwards, arms out wide. Big breath in. Big breath out, twist to the right. Left fingers forwards, right fingers back. Full twist through the spine. Stretch as wide as you can. Hold it here, reach out. And then back to center, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. So your right arm is forwards, left arm is back. Right knee bends, left toes face the left side of the room. Pull in around the waist. Sit lower in that right thigh and reach the arms out wide. Your left hand comes behind the back. Right arm reaches up to the sky. We then reach taller than we think we can and arch back, maintaining the depth in that bend of the right knee. So the right thigh has to work. We're here for 2. 1, windmill the hands all the way down. Turn and rest your left knee to the floor. You take that right leg back to the bottom of your yoga mat. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Option 1, to stay here as you did before. Think about lifting that left side waist. Option 2, to straighten the left leg as well. So both legs are straight. You can lift that waist up. Lift through the right fingertips. Think about length across the collarbones. 2. Lift a bit higher. And 1. Right hand down. Step back into downward facing dog. Roll forwards to a plank. Rest your knees. Slowly lower forwards and down. Control the descent down to the floor. Point the toes. Squeeze the glutes. Lift the chest. Squeeze the shoulders back. Exhale. Rest to the floor. Bring your hands in and make a pillow for your forehead. Shake the hips from side to side. Now I'm going to just work a little bit stronger through the back of the body. Bring your legs together. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze your glutes. Point the toes. Keep the forehead and the hands glued together. Lift the feet. Lift the elbows. Lift the forehead. Lift the hands. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the buttocks. Lift the shoulders. Lift the chest. We hold for 5. You're still breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1, Let it go. Rock your hips. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. Now a little exercise here that's going to be your marker throughout the challenge for your strength. I want you to bring your hands beneath your shoulders. And if you can't do this, that's fine. It's an indication of how strong you are now and where we're going to go. So tuck the toes. And if you want to watch, first of all, you can. What I want you to do is tuck the toes, pull the belly in. You see my legs engage, and we're practicing pushing to a plank. So come back down. And for now, you might get to here and it's too much. That's fine. You know that's your marker, so you can write it down and come back. But if you can, the toes tuck, you might be there already. We pull the belly in and rise. Downward facing dog. The only person that needs to know how that went is you. So you can keep it to yourself. You gauge how your strength increases as we go, because it's shoulder strength, core strength, leg strength. Take your feet wide. Wide, and your toes turn slightly out. Walk your hands back. And as you walk them back, I want you to sit into a squat position. Now, for some of you, that's going to mean your heels will want to lift. You might need to rearrange your feet. If your heels are comfortably down, you practice lifting the chest, maybe lifting the arms, pushing the knees out, squeezing the glutes. Reach away in front of you, pull in through the waist, lift tall. If your hands are down, that's fine, stay here. Again, you have a marker of where you are now and where you're going to be later in the month. So we breathe, let it go, inhale, exhale, for 3, and 2, on 1, slowly bring the hands down, lift the hips, and you're in a forward fold. So just bring the feet in, relax the body forwards, rest the weight of the head. We are rolling up and back down twice. So pull in around the waist, take your time, arms are heavy, knees can be soft if they need to be, drawing in through the center of the body. Rolling up to stand, restacking the spine, lifting the crown of the head, take a big breath, and then exhale, chin back in. Round the body forwards and down. Pull in around the waist, take it all the way forwards, and rest. And then back up, navel to spine. Arms are heavy, shoulders relaxed. Feel that strength around the center body. Rise to stand. Maybe when you stand, you squeeze the glutes, and then the chin comes back in, and we roll it down. Slowly coming forwards. Hands plant down. Walk the hands back out towards the top of your yoga mat, and then walk the feet to your hands, and we sit all the way down. Have a seat. Plant your feet to the floor. Another challenge for your strength. Reach the arms out in front of you. Pull the belly in. Tuck the tailbone under, and slowly start to roll the spine down. So don't rush. Take your time. Pull in through the waist. Slowly arms go back and overhead. Take a nice big long breath. And then exhale, bring the arms down by the side. Walk your feet slightly closer to the body. Push down into your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky. Squeeze and engage your glutes. Trying to find a long line from the shoulders through the hips down to the knees. Pulling in around the waist. Push down. Even try gripping the mat with your toes. Feel the back of the legs. Hold on. Feel that strength. We're here for 5. Lifting the hips, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll that back down, pulling the waist in, massaging your spine down to the floor, taking your time. Bring both knees into the chest. Give a gentle rock. And then settle. Take your right leg out. Relax it all the way down to the floor. Take your right hand across to the left knee. Left arm just falls out to the side. And you bring that left knee all the way across the body for a big full twist. Breathe here for 3. Exhale. 2. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Bring it back through center. Hug that left knee in. And then stretch your left leg out. Bring the right knee into the chest, nice and close to the body. Take your right arm out to the side. Bring that right knee across the body with the left hand, and you take a full twist, other side. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more full deep breath. Exhale. Come back to center. Bring the right knee in, and then again bring the left knee into the chest. Just rock both knees side to side. And then I want you to stretch your right leg to the very bottom corner of your yoga mat and stretch your left leg to the other corner of your yoga mat. Bring the hands, rest them on the belly. Soften the shoulders down into the mat. Let your feet just turn out. Your ankles are relaxed, your knees, your hips. Feel the belly rise as you breathe in. Notice the belly fall as you breathe out. That staying easy breath we found at the start of practice, just noticing the movement elsewhere in the body. Without the hands being there, you might notice that the movement of the breath has gone into the side of the ribs as well. Front of the chest. Maybe even the back of the shoulders and the lower back. Notice the softness around the eyes and around the jaw. Softness down the neck, through the shoulders. Down through the belly, beneath the hands, into the hips. Around to the lower back. Softness to the whole body. A deep sense of relaxation. And now all I want you to do is imagine you have a volume dial switch, and I'm going to slowly turn that volume dial up, and it's the volume of your breath. So your breath gets louder. Might mean the breath gets fuller beneath the hands, into the chest, into the body. And it gets so full that movement travels to the fingers and the toes. Draw circles into the wrists and the ankles. And then bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. You can come up in 2 ways. Maybe you roll over to your right, or you simply rock up to a seat. Keep the eyes closed. So resist the temptation to open the eyes. Sit with the legs crossed. And just place the hands onto the knees. Take a nice big breath, let the shoulders rise up. And then as you exhale, soften them back and down. Take a nice big breath. Let the shoulders rise. And exhale, let them go back and down. Bring the hands into prayer heart center. Thank yourself for the first of our strong practices this month. I will see you in our next class.